everyone, guys, it's Michael and GF, and today I'm going to be doing another LEGO Star Wars 2015 set review on my first Star Wars Rebels 2015 set, Ezra's speeder bike, and the set number for this one is 75090, the recommended ages are 7 through 12, and it has a piece count of 253, while the price point is $24.99, and I would honestly say this set is probably only worth $19.99, because two of the minifigures we've already seen before. The speeder bikes, while they're nice, taken right out of the show, it's just, I think what we're all here for, and what that extra $5 probably comes from, is the fact that we get a new and exclusive Sabine minifigure with a newly molded hairpiece, and that's probably half the reason you guys want this set. And I doubt, having Ezra and the Stormtrooper again are really a deciding factor with getting this set for a lot of you. So I think really what everyone's interested in with this set is Sabine, and the two speeder bikes are really just an added bonus. While Ezra and the Stormtrooper almost feel like they're cast off to the side in light of this new minifigure. So yeah, that's just kind of my general opinion on this set. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, but I'll get into all the reasons just as to why I think this set is definitely worth the $24 or the $25 for any Star Wars Rebels fan, because it is definitely a really awesome set for the most part that I'm honestly pretty impressed with. Okay, so starting off with Sabine, it's really great to see the debut of this character from Star Wars Rebels. It's just, unfortunately, LEGO did skip out on her really awesome helmet, but they did give us an entirely new mold for her hair with some pretty nice printing on top of that. So I mean, it's really great. It's just the hairpiece is really awesome, don't get me wrong. It's just, LEGO already has the Mandalorian helmet mold. They've used it several times, and I don't really see why they couldn't have just molded that in a dark pink and then just printed the design onto that. It really wouldn't have been that difficult, I would assume, manufacturing wise, but unfortunately there is no helmet for Sabine. We only get her hair, but the new mold is definitely really awesome, like I said. But I mean, if you want, you could go over to arealightcustoms.com, or I think maybe even Clonery Customs. I think even he might have them, but you can get a pretty nice Sabine helmet much easier than you think. And no, I was not paid to say that. It's just for those of you who think the helmet is absent, then it's, like I said, it's much easier to get a Sabine helmet than you might think, a really nicely printed one. So definitely recommend that if you feel, that this minifigure is definitely lacking the helmet as much as I do. Another thing that I do have to criticize is the fact that they gave Sabine here flesh arms, and her arms in the show are mostly covered up by her Mandalorian armor, so dark tan arms would have been much more fitting. I'm not really supporting the the exposed arms, so I mean, it's okay, it's an easy fix. It's just, minor nitpicking, I guess. You can see that the torso printing, though, is really freaking awesome. Absolutely love the design that LEGO, managed to pull off here. Really accurate to her appearance on the show, too. The same can be said for the back printing, although obviously it's a lot more simple than the front, and the leg printing, though, is really, really awesome and definitely very impressive. And I'm really impressed by just how clean it is, because usually when LEGO prints that close to the, the actual belt piece, it doesn't usually come out that nice, and thankfully there was no misprint on mine, and it looks really awesome. And the Mandalorian kneecaps also look really nice with the battle damage that they have, and the straps and everything. The belt printing, it's all really great. And like I mentioned previously, there is some printing on her new dark blue hair mold, and that is pretty sweet. And then something else I do want to mention is that we have the return of these pistols. Now, personally, I'm not sure if they've shown up in Agents or another theme recently, maybe even Lego City. Not Lego City, they don't put guns in those sets, but I have not seen these pistols in forever. I'm talking, I haven't seen these pistols since like 2008 when I started on YouTube. So I was really surprised personally to see these pistols return. They might have been in a recent set that I'm not aware of, but this is the first time I'm seeing these pistols for the first time in a long time, and it's great to see them again. I always love these pistols, and I think they really work with Sabine here. No, they're not accurate. No, she doesn't have black pistols, but hey, I don't mind because I'm not too fond of the show, so having these pistols doesn't really bother me personally. But if we go ahead and remove the hairpiece, you can see that we do have a really nicely printed face for Sabine, and it's definitely pretty accurate to the facial expressions that she puts on regularly on the show. And if we go ahead and turn the head around, and you can see that she does have an alternative facial expression, which is much more aggressive and equally as awesome, because this minifigure in general is awesome. I absolutely love the hair mold that LEGO manufactured just for this minifigure. It's a shame that we don't get the helmet, but that's why, once again, I said it is very easy to get one if you do want to go out of your way. And I don't really agree with the flesh arms, but I mean, other than those two things, it's really great to see this minifigure done so well. I missed out on the Phantom last year, so this is my first time I'm getting to talk about Aladdin here, or actually Ezra, as Ezra Bridger here is definitely portrayed really nicely by the the LEGO group. I would say literally the only flaw that I see with this minifigure is the fact that the leg printing cuts off right there at the knees, which is fine, I guess, because maybe it's a manufacturing limit that the LEGO group has. I don't know, because then again, there has been printing where they did go beyond that point. But I mean, it does look a little bit awkward because the design was clearly cut off and then passed through anyway. So I really don't agree with the design being cut off, even though it has been pretty frequent in recent minifigures. I definitely think that's something that needs to stop. But other than that, the design of the legs is really sweet. Same can be said for the torso and the way the jacket is portrayed. It's all really accurate and definitely really awesome. And then the same can be said for the back as well, and the design on the back of his jacket. It's all really great. And the hairpiece obviously was a given. It was a pretty easy choice for the LEGO group to make when it comes to his hair design. And then the face was also really nice. And I'm saying was because this minifigure was something I really wish I could have talked about last year in the summer. But yeah, really nice facial expression for the front. Definitely looks a lot like Ezra, and the same can be said for the opposite side, which is a much more confused facial expression for him. And then we also have Ezra's very strange lightsaber design, and LEGO used a pair of binoculars for the hilt, and that's not awkward at all. It's just, I really feel like a new mold could have been used there, and while I understand, you know, yes, the binoculars they kind of look like Ezra's lightsaber, they kind of don't at the same time, so it's kind of awkward, and I'm not sure if I'm actually, if he holds a lightsaber like this, I might actually have him holding it the wrong way, so just to please those of you who might correct me in the comments, there you go, I've got him holding it this way too. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Aladdin. It's a great minifigure, and I probably couldn't have asked for more, aside from the leg printing being cut off. Funny enough, this is actually the first Star Wars Rebels Stormtrooper that actually has a slight misprint. The black stripe on the top of the helmet for this one is actually slightly misprinted, so that's definitely a change, as all these Star Wars Rebels Stormtroopers I've had have all been perfect, so yeah, don't really care though, it happens. It's still a great minifigure, and like I said previously, a lot of you disagree with the helmet design, but I was one of the very few people who actually found myself to be really fond of this design. I love the mouth, I love the eyes, I love the extensive blue striping on the sides. It was just overall a great reprint of the Stormtrooper helmet for me from the start. But if we go ahead and remove it, you can see with this one we do have the standard clone trooper head, which we've seen previously with the other Star Wars Rebel Stormtroopers and Stormtroopers in general. And then you can see if we go ahead and bend up the legs just to give you a better look at that. Same exact Stormtrooper leg printing, always great to see again. And it's nice that we finally reached the point where Stormtrooper leg printing is a common thing. It wasn't always like that. And the same can be said for the torso, because the torso design is equally as awesome, and also for the back printing, which is definitely really awesome to see. So overall, this is a really definitive Stormtrooper minifigure, and I'm really glad that Stormtrooper minifigures have come this far, and I'm really excited to see what they'll look like in the Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens set. So really awesome stuff here, man. But without further ado, let's check out the speeder bikes. So the speeder bikes included with this set are literally exactly the same, aside from a few differences with the stickers and obviously the pieces being different colors. They are literally the exact same speeder, so I'm going to spend a lot more time talking about Ezra's speeder, but I will get into a few little details about this one once I'm done with Ezra's speeder bike here. And these speeder bikes are taken exactly pretty much right out of the show. And now one thing I do have to say though, I'm not totally certain if this was actually in Star Wars Rebels or not, but if it was, be sure to let me know down in the comments. But personally, I have never seen this speeder bike, and when I tried to figure out if it was in the show, I found absolutely nothing. Just basically I only was able to find information about this actual one included with this set, so I assume that this was just made up for the sake of this set. But I mean, it's not unlike Rebels to steal the Empire's technology and their equipment and then, spray paint it and repurpose it for their own cause. That's very common in the Star Wars universe, so I figured maybe this could actually be a thing in Star Wars Rebels. I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, even if it isn't, it is still really nice for what it's, for the purpose it serves in this set, and the design of it is pretty much taken right out of the show. It's just, I'm not sure if the paint job is, but if this was actually used by Ezra or any of the other Rebels, be sure to let me know down in the comments once again. But the design of this set is really nice, like I said, very accurate to its appearance in the show, and you can see that for the main playability function on this set, we have a couple of stud shooters attached to both sides, and these are adjustable because obviously they're just thrown into a couple of holes on both sides of the speeder. And I guess we'll use the Empire speeder bike over there as our dummy, and just, you guys know how these work. You just push down the lever on the top of them, and then the studs fire out. It's always been a great playability feature, and it's nice to see them on the sides of these speeder bikes here. But yeah, another playability feature is that the front of these speeders actually extend if it would cooperate with me, and you can see they extend about that far, and that's the stopping point. And to make that feature happen, it was kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a bitch to get these rods in the right way, so that might be a little bit problematic for you when building this set, but it is still really nice that we have that feature, that, you know, the fact that, you know, the front of this can extend. That's really awesome and great to see. But if we're gonna go ahead and retract that back in so we can, you know, make this a bit more compact and easier to show on camera, you can see that we do have these two flaps on the front, which do fold like pretty much every speeder in every LEGO Star Wars set that they have appeared in. And then on the back here, we've got a bunch of ventilation pieces for added detail, a little hook piece on the top of each of these speeder bikes for storage of one accessory. So you're gonna have to choose, because Ezra here does have two accessories, so I guess we've got him, you know, just only one-handing the speeder bike as he's got his lightsaber in the other. And to go over these stickers with this thing, though, I should mention right off the bat that this dome piece here is completely printed, which is definitely nice. It actually would have been kind of obnoxious if that was the sticker, but it is really nice that we have that dome piece printed there. And then this is a sticker here on this slope piece, which looks pretty nice. And then on these two slopes on the back of this thing, we've got a couple of Rebel insignias right there. And then on the very back, we've got this little sticker here for some added detail. But other than that, there really isn't anything to go over other than those, you know, few things with this speeder bike. It's a really nice design. It's got two playability features, which is nice. And if you couldn't already tell, there is a 2x2 available space on both of these speeder bikes for your minifigures. So yeah, that's pretty much it though for the general design of these speeder bikes. So like I said, I'm not going to really spend a lot of time talking about the, you know, the Imperial version of the speeder bike, other than the fact that all these, it's pretty much the exact same speeder, once again, just in white and tan, basically. So it has the exact same, you know, feature with the front of it being able to extend and retract back in to make it more compact. And then you have the same hook on the top. So I've got the Stormtrooper's blaster in it. And then we have the same exact stud shooters on the sides with the red studs, same exact speeder, except the sticker design these designs are a little bit different, as this one here does not have the exact same stripes that we have we see here. So that's, you know, a nice little difference, I guess. I don't really care. But if we go ahead and look at the back, we have the exact same sticker that we saw on the back of this set, or this speeder, I should say. This is still the same set, but in white. And the blaster just went flying off the table. I don't even know how that happened. But yeah, so same exact speeder bike, just in white. No insignias on the slopes of the back of this one, but really nice speeder bikes. It's just, I really don't think it was that difficult for LEGO to make two of the exact same speeder bikes. So maybe we could have gotten a different vehicle rather than just two of the exact same speeder. But I mean, it's still a really solid set and definitely have some great playability functions. So there really isn't a lot of complaining to be had. This is a really solid Star Wars Rebels set. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the box, instruction manual, extra pieces, and we'll conclude this review. The box for Ezra's speeder bike, unfortunately, in my case, got a little bit torn because the people who I asked to hold this set back at the start of this month put some freaking tape on the top of these things, which I had to tear off, and that was the unfortunate consequence. But the graphic of this thing, of these two speeders riding around on Lothal, is really nice. And you can see on the top here, we've got Sabine sporting the actual size reference, and then on the back here, we've got a ton of photos of the things that you can, you know, the battle sequences that you can act out with this set. And then we also have a really nice render of the three minifigures on top with a nice action shot and a bunch of things displaying the features included with this set. So definitely pretty freaking awesome, man. And yeah, that's really it though. We've got a 59-page build with Ezra's speeder bike, and if we go ahead and flip all the way to the back here just so you can see the final page, we've got a couple of pretty sweet advertisements, basically an entire, I guess, sort of checklist of renders that we see with all of the LEGO Star Wars lineups usually, and it's really cool to see all the minifigures included with this. I don't believe this is all of them. I'm pretty sure they're missing a few if I'm not mistaken, but still really awesome, and man, I'm looking forward to some of these minifigures, like the Inquisitor especially, and the Shadow Troopers. Really excited to review those sets for you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to get to those reviews, and you'll see we've also got an advertisement for lego.com/Star Wars along with some wallpapers that you can unlock with that code there. And then we've also got a bunch of you know, an advertisement showing that, you know, these sets, a bunch of these Star Wars Rebels sets, all of these Star Wars Rebels sets have been seen on the actual series. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then obviously in a couple of different languages, but pretty solid instruction manual, man. LEGO always gives us tons of studs for these stud shooters, these sets that have the stud shooters in them. So this set is no exception, giving giving us a bunch of extra red studs and green studs for both of the stud shooters, you know, both speeder bikes included with this set. And then we've also got the actual pieces that go in the stud shooters themselves. We get an extra couple of these with their evil little devious and conniving faces that I've always mentioned. And then other than that, it's just a bunch of handlebar pieces, a couple of these pistol pieces, which are actually used for the actual handlebars on these speeders, and some, you know, a cheese slope here, and a couple of tiles, and a couple of plates. I just got those backwards. These are the tiles, these are the plates. But yeah, man, extra pieces. It's pretty cool, I guess. As a matter of fact, I actually did lose one of these studs while recording this review. So there is actually not all of these studs are pictured here. There is one missing, I should mention. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and finish off this video. These binoculars aren't working.
Turn them around.
No, I don't think they're on. Oh, I found the switch. Alright guys, and that about wraps up my review on Ezra's speeder bike, and this set, I think it's definitely a no-brainer for any Star Wars Rebels fan to get this set, because while, yeah, there isn't a lot going on, you do have a really nice new and exclusive Sabine minifigure, the two nicely designed speeder bikes. You already heard my opinions on this whole thing. It's just, I feel like maybe an extra minifigure, maybe another accessory, like a little turret for Sabine or something that would have made this set seem a little bit more complete, probably would have made that price point of $24.99 seem a bit more worth it. But I mean, for Sabine and with these two speeder bikes, I would say that price point for Star Wars Rebels fans is definitely worth it, and there's definitely no way you're going to want to miss out on this set. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this review, maybe found it informative, be sure to let me know by dropping this video a like below and or your opinion down in the comments, as both of which definitely mean a lot and definitely go a long way. I'm going to try to keep cranking out these reviews as quickly as I can, guys. I know these sets have been out for a couple weeks now, but unfortunately, given all the editing and all the recording that goes into these reviews, this is unfortunately how long it takes, along with all the minifigures that I'm working on off to the side. That takes up a lot of my time too. But thank you guys for supporting me, regardless of how late these reviews end up being sometimes. You can also follow me on the Twitter, the Bookface, the Instagrams. Links to all three of those are down in the description below as well. And there I post all kinds of behind-the-scenes photos and preview photos of those custom minifigures that I'm working on right now. Reverse Flash, Age of Ultron minifigures, minifig scale Minecraft customs, a bunch of awesome stuff that you're going to be seeing on here in the future and in the more distant future. I've got an Ant-Man figure coming, a bunch of awesome stuff that I can't post over here yet that is already available over on those platforms, which is why I always recommend that stuff, man. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it for my first LEGO Star Wars 2015 Star Wars Rebels review, and I'll catch you guys later. Alright. Bye! The price point is $39. Holy shit, if this set was $39.99, I would freaking die.
Can I have my helmet? Now!
I can show you the world.
Not feature the helmet to, I guess, cheap out and skip out on that. I don't, okay, what am I talking about?